Hey guys, Sean Clarisi here with SPC Fitness, back out with another YouTube video. Just wanted to talk about breathing and breathing techniques and bracing your core during exercises and why it's important. Some breathing techniques that I could give that will help you, especially the beginners out there, um, help you learn how to breathe properly so that you're bracing your core properly, which means that you'll stay. What I mean is that you're not bracing your core is not, just protruding your gut out. It's bracing. It's like, it's like forming a nice thick wall with your abs. Whether you have visible abs or you don't have visible abs, you have ab muscles. So what I mean by bracing is like the best way to describe it, let me just stand, so let me show you. So I'm just going to move this. So I'm going to try to speak loudly, but this is what I mean by bracing your core. So if you're doing, any movement, before you start your movement, you should breathe in and then hold that breath and really flex these core muscles as hard as you can. And what I mean by flexing, I don't mean just this. I mean really flex them. And if I had a six pack, you would see them protrude a bit, but you'd also see them just flex. Like they're just flexed. And they're proper. What that will do is if you're doing the deadlift, if you're doing bicep curls, if you're doing a squat, lunge, overhead press, any movement where you can keep your core as tight as possible. Your core is, the center of your body. So that's where your what's the word? That's where your center of gravity is. So if you can keep that stable, you're more than likely to stay stable during the exercise. So, some breathing techniques that I can give, especially for beginners, is that I don't necessarily want you to try and just like what I do and what I know once you get to like the intermediate and advanced levels is holding your breath on every rep, like holding your core tight for as long as possible. That might be a little daunting and might be a little tough for beginners. So what I would say this is, for each exercise, try holding it like each set, try to hold it a little longer. So let's just say the first set let's just say you're doing a set, 3 sets of 8 on deadlift, 3 sets of 8. So you're a beginner. That's kind of like I would say that's more of a beginner set, but the numbers really don't matter. The whole point is just the technique. So the technique I would say is, for your first set, try holding your breath for each rep. So each rep, you do the deadlift, so you get, I could do a later video going into like when, and that would be more of also just doing a video on that specific exercise, but also just like saying like when. But in general, just, each rep, brace your core, perform the movement, and then breathe out, breathe back in. So like reset each rep. Not saying like the whole breathe in during the concentric or the upward motion and then the downward motion or the eccentric portion. Exhale. Don't do that. What I'm saying is hold your breath and keep that core tight for the whole rep. It's just that each rep you're going to breathe. After you do it, you're going to breathe out and then reset and breathe back in to get your core tight again. Then the second set, try holding it for 2 reps each. So try holding your breath and your core for 2 reps. And then that third set, try 3. And then just each week, each time you go back to that movement, and you can do this for every single exercise you do, try to hold it longer and longer until maybe you can hold it the whole entire set. I could, or you don't have to necessarily, but you'll be able to hold it longer, which means that you do, because when you have to reset your breath, it's sometimes hard, especially like when you're in like your later sets and you're starting to get really tired. It's hard. It gets harder and harder to control your breath. So what I would say is develop that early on so that you don't have that problem. Because I've been good with it, not been good with it, and right now I've been better with it, especially with my deadlift becoming 5 sets of 10. That's like, for me, this is like a really intense. That's a really intense workout set right there. So being able to hold it for this, like even just 7 to 8 reps of the of each set is impressive just for me. But like that's the way you got to stay. That's the way you got to do it in order to stay stable for each rep, because you don't want to be in an unstable position, especially when it comes to lifting weights. Because even if the weight isn't necessarily heavy, if it's heavy for you, you want your body to be stable when you're lifting this, because you don't want to drop it or it overtakes you, and then you have a possibility of injury. So if you're a true beginner, I would say just try holding your breath. Try first bracing your core. So like I said, like you're flexing your core muscles as hard as you can. So you're just trying to really just flex them as hard as you can. And you can feel it. Like you're not, like I said, you're not protruding your gut out. You're flexing your core, like you're forming a wall, like a nice strong stable wall. It's not coming out, it's just staying there all packed, and you want to just pack your core muscles on top of each other and just flex. And then as you perform the movement, just try to keep that for each rep starting out, and then as you progress, try to hold it for longer and longer, and try to avoid breathing out of your nose. So what I mean by this is like just try to do this. And then you go, and then right before the next rep, perform the rep. And for someone who's a beginner, not only will you learn stability, you'll learn better form, because you'll be more stable during exercise, especially at this time where you're just learning. Your body is trying to get used to the new exercise, and it's trying to learn the form, and it's trying to learn the movement pattern. And if you're stable on every rep, you'll get better at the form faster. So I didn't want this to be a long video. It was more of just something that I've been thinking about, and I thought it was a good YouTube topic. Just something that I thought would interest people and just try to help people. If anyone who finds this video, I really hope it does help you, especially if you're a beginner. I know like intermediate to advanced lifters already know this, but if you're a beginner, just try to flex your core as hard as you can, hold your breath during each rep, and just try to progress with that, because I think it's something that we think about, and it's something that we kind of know. It's like, it kind of makes sense when you think about it, but you probably forget about doing it. And I think it's just an easy way to get better at the exercise and stay stable during each exercises. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Follow me on my Instagram at SPC Fitness. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button hit the subscribe button. I hope you watch my other videos. And please like and comment how you thought of this video. And everyone, have a great day.